listeners. Thank you for joining us. TEOCO CEO Atul Jain will be sharing with us today about his early start in business and the top 5 skills that he believes every entrepreneur should possess. This is the first of a series of podcasts called The Accidental Entrepreneur, where Atul will be sharing his wisdom and lessons learned from over 25 years as a successful entrepreneur. So welcome, Atul.
Thanks. I'm happy to be here. I am what you might call an accidental entrepreneur. I came to America in 1981 to pursue my academic dreams. If my life had gone on as planned, I would have become a math professor focusing on probability and statistics. Instead, I completed a master's degree in computer science from the University of Illinois and took my first job as a systems engineer with TEOCO in Palo Alto. TEOCO was good to me. I learned a lot from Vivek Ranadive, our CEO at the time. Today, Vivek is the owner of Sacramento Kings, an NBA team. My 7 years at TEOCO kindled an ambition in me to be an entrepreneur. In 1995, I started a business that was rebranded as TEOCO 3 years later. TEOCO is an acronym for the employee-owned company. Now that I'm nearing 60, I can state that being an entrepreneur has been rather fulfilling. Sharing quality time with colleagues, my community, and the broader society is increasingly becoming my reason for being. And as the years progress, I find myself getting far more joy out of giving than receiving. My role now is to pay it forward to new business owners and startups. Over the next year, I hope to share my experiments in entrepreneurship so that others can learn and profit from both the mistakes and the successes I have had along the way. After all, no one is trained as an entrepreneur, and there are many difficult lessons to be learned. Entrepreneurship is about facing challenges with dignity and pride. It's about having the courage to get up every time you fall down. It is a roller coaster ride with higher highs and lower lows than one could ever imagine. To give you an insight into this journey, let me start by talking about 5 skills that I believe every entrepreneur must possess. First and foremost, you must closely manage your costs. The easiest way to be profitable is to watch your costs. This requires ensuring that your circle of expenses remains entirely within your circle of revenues. At TEOCO, we work hard to conservatively project our likely revenue at the start of every year and ensure that our expenses never exceed this amount. A statistics professor of mine once asked me, "What is the secret to running a profitable business?" My reply was very simple. Make sure that you spend less than you make. This answer sounds so ridiculously obvious that people think that I am joking. Actually, I'm dead serious. It is as simple as that. While making more than you spend may seem obvious, the real challenge is to truly understand this concept and have the discipline to live it every day. I'll give you an example. Think of revenue as an 18-wheeler truck driving down the highway, and imagine another 18-wheeler truck following closely behind called expenses. In this graphic representation, profit is a tiny little Volkswagen sandwiched between these two 18-wheelers. If the revenue truck slows down and the expenses truck doesn't, the Volkswagen gets crushed. If the expenses truck speeds up and the revenue truck doesn't, the Volkswagen gets crushed again. Our great effort at TEOCO is to make sure that our Volkswagen survives. We never let the expenses truck go faster than the revenue truck. The second skill is courage. I believe an entrepreneur's defining characteristic isn't just about being inventive and having a good idea. An entrepreneur must display the courage to take risks and manage them. Many people fail to reach their full potential because of their tendency to avoid risk. Entrepreneurs, on the other hand, are much more willing to embrace risk. They succeed not because of superior wealth or acumen, but because they have the courage to take risks and effectively manage them. More than anything, it takes fortitude and the willingness to never give up. Entrepreneurs must have the courage to go into business, to stay in business, and to run their business ethically. And it isn't just about being courageous at life's big inflection points. It's also about showing courage day after day. The third skill is to be innovative. An entrepreneur must continuously search for opportunities to innovate. I remember back in the late 1990s when we used to struggle with the process of digitizing paper invoices so we could audit them for our clients. The process was slow, painful, and error-prone. We were losing time, money, and opportunity. But even back then, every line item on a paper invoice began its life cycle as an electronic file. So why not use these digital files to eliminate data entry once and for all? With this innovative thinking came the idea to develop TEOCO's patented extract technology, which significantly enhanced our flagship network cost management platform, Bill Track Pro. Skill number 4 is to be principled, even in the face of difficulty. I see a lot of people embracing entrepreneurship because they think they can get rich, and making money is their driver. An alternative approach is to define your passion and purpose and build a team around you that shares in your belief. And sometimes this requires choosing a less promising path than compromising your honesty and integrity. Once you align people around a common and shared purpose, it is amazing what becomes possible. Our purpose at TEOCO is to advance the practice of principled entrepreneurship. And we have had a ton of fun trying to do so for the last 26 years. Last but not the least, we come to skill number 5, and that is to value your team. My final lesson is to be caring. Recognize that while business matters, people matter even more. Create a joyful workplace culture, an environment of giving and sharing. Show empathy and kindness. Be considerate and compassionate, and your loyalty and hard work will be returned to you 100-fold.
Thank you, Atul. You gave some great advice here. I'm sure there are lots of budding entrepreneurs listening who will enjoy these lessons. But of these skills that you just mentioned, there were 5 of them. Which one do you feel is the most important?
My top pick would be courage. In the business literature, I don't find the emphasis that I feel that this skill set deserves. It takes courage to stay true to your values in the face of immense pressure to compromise them. I have never been trained in the art of running a business, and as such, I'm missing many traditional elements that one would expect. However, courage is not one of them. It happens to be an area of strength for me.
You raise a good point. So what's been your favorite part about being an entrepreneur over these years?
My favorite part is the opportunity to make a difference in the life of people. I see TEOCO as a platform that enables me to not only teach and coach, but open the door of opportunity for both clients and employees. We are enabling clients to give life to their goals and dreams. We are enabling employees to fly as high as they can. What enables our employees to fly higher is a feeling of safety. They know that if they happen to fall down, the organization has a safety net that will catch them and lift them up.
So you mentioned earlier that as a student, you thought you might end up being a math professor. So looking back, if you had to do it all over again, is entrepreneurship still the path you would have chosen?
I don't know that I chose the path of entrepreneurship. Perhaps I fell into it. However, I have embraced it. Here, I would like to digress and talk for a few minutes about how I feel about my adopted country called United States of America. It is indeed a land of opportunity. I can't imagine many other countries where an immigrant like me would come with $500 and a one-way ticket and be where I am today. I'm extremely grateful for the opportunity. Coming back to the question, if I could go back and do it over again, would I still choose this path? My answer is absolutely I would. Instead of teaching and coaching mathematics and statistics, I'm teaching about life and business. I get up every day full of energy and ready to go. Every day I have new challenges to overcome and new life to touch. 26 years later, I'm still having fun.
Oh, thank you, Atul. It's been very inspirational. Thanks for sharing your experience and insights. This has been really, really such a pleasure. So thank you. And for our listeners, if you enjoyed today's discussion, please share this podcast with your friends and coworkers, and be sure to follow Atul's CEO Insights series on entrepreneurship, which you can find at TEOCO.com. So thanks everyone for listening in, and until next time, we will chat soon. Thank you.